The buzz, excitement, and confusion over Suisei's announcement continues, and people are looking for answers. We've discussed how VTubers are now legally viewed as specified and trusted business operators while working for Cover Corporation and Hololive. So let's kick things off with the news that Suisei has spread her wings with Hololive by coming into agreement that she could assume more responsibilities as a co-sign affiliate while maintaining her identity through the Hololive branding. Now, as a quick PSA, while we discuss how these laws have changed the way VTubers are viewed and treated, please recognize that past incidents or events may not have qualified for these laws as they are today because of either timing or things amended under the current laws that happened after the fact. As we previously shown, talent under these two companies sign at least 3 to 4 different contracts before their debut and when they renew their contracts. These contracts, while differing in specifics, do have a common theme. Besides the co-signed business entrustment agreement for the IP use, compensation also goes to Live2D for licensed use of their product at a corporate level. A separate agreement is also signed for use and monetization of using YouTube, and in the case of Anycolor, a fourth agreement is signed for monetization with Sony co-sponsoring their live events. Hololive Records makes a perfect fit once you view it through this lens because they are essentially saying, why should we pay royalties to an outside company when we can simply own and pocket the revenue by doing it ourselves? And Suisei's branching obligations with her own entity shows how these companies navigate through the co-signed operator transitions. This echoes back to the age-old debate of, are they freelancers? In the current environment, this has significant consequences, and if you notice how they get paid, it is segmented from the actual employee payroll. You see, the new legal designation is more than just pure fluff. Updates to the Freelance Act from 2024, which is now amended and consolidated into a larger framework, dictates work agreements can no longer be made by a simple handshake or some subjective, ambiguous DM on Discord. This law legally moves freelancers into the specified entrustment business operator category and widens the scope and professions that this name covers. That is why VTubers are now part of this group. One of the most impactful changes that has been brought to an end to what could be called the Net 90 nightmare. What this is the change enforces and mandates a 60-day period which companies must provide payment to the talent, whereas companies used to operate under a 90-day cycle. The updated law also stresses pressure on these companies when it comes to their talent, that issues and complaints about sexual harassment, power harassment, or similar cases are required to have safeguards in place to protect these actions that are taken against the talent. Termination notices must now be given a 30-day notice before the contract is terminated. Any talent who has been with an agency over 12 months cannot simply be instant graduated or stealth terminated because this violates the new law. Extenuating circumstances aside, this can simply not happen. Talent can now report the company to the JTFC and issue a complaint if these companies violate the new statutes or fail in their responsibilities. The JTFC has already been busy applying these laws. In March 2025, the JTFC undertook its first enforcement action by conducting extensive investigations into business operators in the gaming and animation production industries. The outcome identified 45 businesses that have connections with entrusted business operators, which were required to take corrective action to the contracts to bring them into compliance with current law. This updated law in itself demands companies provide comprehensive contracts, banning arbitrary cutting of compensation, and must maintain harassment reporting systems. All things that have happened in order to protect the talent over these past several years. But there are still 2 other laws that we have to explore, and we'll complete that overview in part 3. We will finish our look at these new laws that have been implemented under the Labor Standards Act and the foundation of all VTuber contracts found in civil law. Until then, this is Marco Yamashita signing off. Peace.